Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to deploy a child domain controller. Okay, so as a prerequisite, I need to verify if my IP address is static or not. Let me go to the network interface card, go to command prompt ncpa.cpl, go to run and type the command, or go to command prompt and then type a command ncpa.cpl. So right click on this Ethernet 0, go to properties, IPv4, and see it is not an added, it is dynamic IP address as of now. Let me add an IP address to this one. So 192.168.190.150 tab 192.168.190.1. Then the preferred DNS is 192.168.190.50. Okay, so that's the network interface card IP address I have just added. Let me go and quickly verify the computer name also. Host name, yeah, it is not as per the standard. Let me rename the computer also. Type a command called sysdm.cpl. See, the name is not changed. Click on change option and then type this cdc01. This is my child domain controller 01, and that's the reason I am just renaming it as cdc01. Now the computer gets restarted and we need to wait for that to happen. Let's wait for this to complete. Now you can see the computer got restarted. Let me log into the computer, send control.delete, type the password, and you are now logged in. Now quickly verify if the IP address is static. Go to command prompt ipconfig slash all. And if you see here, this my IP address is static because the DHCP enabled is no. That means my IP address is static. See 151 and 190.50 is the DNS address. So I'm good with this. Let me also check the host name, computer name. See host name CDC01. That means I am done with my prerequisites. Now, as usual, to configure a domain controller, we need to add the Active Directory domain services role in this computer. Go to the server manager and click on add roles and features in order to install the Active Directory domain service role. Click on next and click on role based or feature based installation here and say select next. This is the as usual CDC01 is the name of a computer and IP address is this one. Okay, and just continue say next. Now I need to click on Active Directory Domain Services, add feature and say next. Rest everything is same. You can install the role now. Okay, this will take a while, less than 30-40 seconds, and we need to wait for that to completed. Yeah, now it is installation completed. See, you can see configuration required and installation pending. Now what we have to do, we can click on this promote this server to a domain controller because now the configuration required, but the installation is already completed. Now either you can click on this promote this server to a domain controller, or you can close this and go to the notification bar here and click on this promote this server to a domain controller. Once you click on that option, right? So you get three options here. One is add a domain controller to an existing domain. Means there is already a domain, you are adding a domain controller. It is a server. Controller means it's a server. We are not doing that. So second option is add a new domain to an existing forest. Means already one forest is there. You need to add a domain. Yes, this is our requirement. So select the second option, add a domain to an existing forest. And see, by default, it child domain came. Yes, because we are going to add a child domain controller, right? See, it automatically populated. Now we need to mention what is my parent domain name. My parent domain name is microsoft.com, correct? And the new domain is like maybe india.microsoft.com. Now select and put Microsoft username, administrator, password at the rate 123. Say OK. Now see Microsoft.com is populated here. Select that and say click on next option. So once you click on next option, my new domain, the child domain called india.microsoft.com. Okay. Some error verification child domain input. Okay. Let me put it as India. OU is there already. Okay. One OU already with the name India is already there. That is the reason it is not happening. So what I can do, let me put USA dot Microsoft.com. So Microsoft.com, the domain is USA. So next. See now the prerequisites, the path, the deployment configuration is going on. Now it will be picking up the USA name. Some error is there, like verification of child domain inputs failed. The parent domain Microsoft.com has been object. Okay, let me, yeah, it is completed. See now, I think now the USA value it picked up. Okay, and now you can see here domain functional list server 2016. Forest functional level is also 2016. Okay, but this server will also work as a domain naming system and it's a global catalog server. That's okay. And then the password of the DSRM you need to give. This is all default. Password at the rate 123. Rest everything is same. Okay. This is the DSRM password. I'm going to add it here. So click on next. Once this is next, rest all is same. You don't have to do any changes. Rest all is same. Like you promote the domain controller, whether it is in a root domain, additional domain controller, or the child domain controller. See, now the NetBIOS name of the domain is USA. Say next. And the database of Active Directory path comes. We will go to the default, click on next. And now the validation review, say next. And the prerequisites will now getting verified. Once the verification is done, prerequisite, it gives a notification stating that the prerequisites are successfully verified or met. Then you can click on install option to promote the domain controller. See, all the prerequisite checks pass successfully. Click to install to begin the installation. Let me click on install. Now you see the installation begins. It will take a while. So it will just checking for the forest upgrade status. It will verify the required services like DNS, okay, and the Kerberos, and it will also create the partitions of Active Directory, and the replication will also be completed. All those things will be taken care in the progress phase, installation phase of a domain controller. And this is my child domain controller. See now, this promotion got completed and the server is getting restarted. My CDC01 is now completed or configured as a child domain controller and the server is getting restarted. Once the server gets restarted, this will be a full-fledged new domain which is usa.microsoft.com. Let us wait for this to come up and I'll show you how the console looks like. Now the restart has completed. Let me log into the server again. Okay, let me see now. it is not as part of the Microsoft.com. You can see there is a new domain got USA/administrator got created. Quickly log into the domain controller, the newly built domain and the domain controller. Now, if you go to the tools option, you can see all the Active Directory related options, and our main console is Active Directory users and computers, where you normally work on the day-to-day activities in this console itself. So open that, and you see here there is a new domain called usa.microsoft.com is it got created. Okay, now let me show you the FSMR role. I was just telling you now there are two types of FSMR roles. One is forest wide role, another one is domain wide role. So forest wide roles, schema master and domain naming master. In our case, they will come from the Microsoft.com, which is DC01. Another one, another three like RAD master, infrastructure master, and the PDC emulator will come from the USA domain. Let me check. Net dom query FSMO. If you type this command and hit enter, it will show you all the available FSMO roles and in which server they are into. See, schema master, it is in dc01.microsoft.com. Domain naming master, it is in dc01.microsoft.com. This is microsoft.com. And if you see the below three, which are the domain wide role, PDC emulator, RAD pool manager, infrastructure master, and they are from the cdc01.usa.microsoft.com. See, this is how we call it as domain wide role, because these three roles will be available in all the newly built domain. Forest wide, if you see, you can see this is the forest wide role, schema master and domain naming master. But if you go and check in the very first domain controller, which is your root domain, okay, if you check the FSM roles there, it will be there all the 5 roles in the Microsoft.com, because that is your root domain or the forest. Normally all the forest will have all 5 roles in the same forest itself or the domain itself. Net dom query FSMO. See, you see, it is all dc01.microsoft.com, microsoft.com, forest wide also microsoft.com, domain also microsoft.com. That's the FSMR roles all about. Okay, back to child domain controller. Yeah, this is how you will promote a or create a child domain controller in the Active Directory. I'm going to upload this video. If you have any questions, please type it in comment. I will answer you back. Thank you all.